Hey, this is Bill DeWeese with LongStrangeJourney here in Palm Harbor, and this time our journey is indeed strange. This week on Facebook, on the internet, I saw a really interesting thing that just flipped me out, and it's a fishing lure made from a strip of paracord. So we're doing the Paracord Lure Challenge. As I will show you here, I've made a number of these. These are made simply from paracord and a hook, anything that you would keep in your ditch bag for fishing. And I have done a number of survival camping trips, both shoebox camping trips where everything must fit into a shoebox that you're going to bring and you build your shelter, or just all the basics of survival camping, finding water, finding food. In my ditch box for backpacking as well as for my boat, I have a small fishing kit. It's always had a couple gurgler flies, a little toothpick with a spool of braid and some stuff, so a couple of small pinch weights and hooks. I took from that and created a number of these that you could make from standard paracord. They look really awesome. And my thought was, hey, I got to know if this works. And it looks like it would work.
Obviously, we always don't leave our house without a pocket knife. And so we would want to use minimal set of tools as if we're trapped somewhere and have to make this thing in a pinch. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. I'm going to use a 2-aught hook because it's going to be a little bit easier for the video. So we're also going to be looking at paracord. Now for me personally, I really only buy paracord in 2 colors, black for rigging, and anything else is using international orange. So like that photograph that you saw from the internet, I'm going to use this orange. Now when it comes to paracord, we're talking 550 mil spec paracord. You can buy paracord at Walmart, in other locations and places where it's inexpensive and you do not have everything that you might need. Mil spec paracord has an outer sheath, which is a protective sheath. It does add strength, but it has outer sheath. But 550 cord will have 5 strands. Sometimes you will see 6, or sometimes you will see 7 strand 550 cord. The 550 isn't about the number of strands. The 550 is its weight rating for how you can load the line. So with paracord, we're going to have an outer sheath, which is going to make up part of our lure, and then we're going to have the skirt that's made from the interior filaments, which are there from the paracord to supply strength. And actually, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I think they just put this together and melted it. I'm actually going to do this a little bit differently, and not going to whip out the fly tying vise, but I do believe that because we have a hook with a metal shank, that it would be good to prepare that hook. That's going to prepare the hook to have something on it that will not be sliding up and down. We'll still use heat, I'm sure. We always have a lighter or some heat source in our ditch box. So I'm basically doing a nail knot. I'm running it back, did my loop. I have a video on snell knot on a bite that shows you exactly what we're doing here. We're effectively tying a nail knot on the shank of a hook, which is exactly what a snell knot is. Here, of course, we're using this paracord interior filament, because what this is now going to do is this is going to cinch down tight when we pull it, and it's going to give us a really nice base for which this is effectively a snell knot, a beautiful snell knot, but it's really nice that we're now going to have a super rigid but not so slippery surface. So that's going to be my spin on this thing, because I think it's going to make for a better unit. I'm going to leave that there because we're going to want skirts anyway. And I should be working with my short strands. So there's my short strands, double them back on each other. It's going to look like a nappy mob here for a second, but we're going to put that here. There's a lot of tension in this. And I got my little fuse. I call that up here whenever I'm working on a nail knot. That's like the fuse on a firecracker. So this is just like tying a fly. Now the problem we're going to have here is we want to be able to get that orange sheath over that, but we should be able to do that. So we're doing our nail knot as we walk back up the shank of the hook. Hopefully this is all, try not to drop this. All right, so we got that, and we're going to pull our nail knot tight. So far we're doing this with nothing more than a knife, and I'm using my tweezers, but I mean I could easily use my knife. We're using our survival knife. You could use your mouth in lieu of pliers. Ooh, I got myself a fly. That's like, we'll call that a snook candy. But there, we got that in the water. Bickety bam. So now we're going to pop our sheath on. This works like a finger cuff. And remember, we're in a survivalist mode here, man. So we are none too picky. We're trying to eat. There we go. So we got a nice little skirt chaser here. Just enough to be able to cut that there. Now here, again, one could get real fast and shrink that with a lighter, right? Get out the crack pipe lighter. It's great at throwing a flame pretty far. I love this lighter. Never leave home far without this lighter because it's really good. So that's going to tighten up. Now I am going to, for good measure, going to turn this into something slick. Bickety bam. We have got ourselves a beautiful finish nail knot. Same thing, only different. And that will hold across many fish. This is just like downtown. And the reason why this is handy, because like that means we can catch fish after fish after fish, because this is nice. This is like tying a fly. And we don't need any funky tools. You really don't need to do what I'm doing with the lighter. I'm just kind of like, you know, gussing it up. There we go. Forward and pull our skirt down. There we go. So we will try this on the water. Okay, so I did another one here because just in a much more super simplified way. Okay, so what I did was I took the streamers. Let's say we're going to do 2 fingers worth of streamers, right? And I did like a light saw cut. This is actually so much easier. I did a light saw cut to cut through the outer jacket. Do one more little saw cut. All right, so we cut through the outer jacket, and then you could take the hook or your knife point, whatever you've got, and just pull that out, right? And then cut that off. And now you've got your streamer and you've got your hook shank length. And this is just so much radically simpler way of doing it. Need to eat fish or starve, right? We want to be as simplified as we possibly can. The video, right? We just kind of want to surf candy. Woohoo! We've got a tiny one and a big one. So we'll put those in with the other that we made, and we'll put them in our emergency kit. And when we're on the water, we'll find fish, probably look for a...
So I'm out here today, and very busy Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. I am fishing the Flats Class Challenge with the Bugs jig, and I've caught quite a few trout already on it. So the goal with the Paracord lure was to just verify, you know, I'm not going to go into a survival situation with this and pretend that I'm in one. But what I wanted to do was get around some fish, and we now know we've got some fish here because we've caught quite a few, and then put this down in lieu of your ordinary Mirrodine or the Bugs jig, and see if the bite continues with that. To test this lure to see whether or not a small strip of paracord, which we all have in our ditch boxes or on our boat or anywhere, that you might prepare a survivalist setup, whether or not that would allow you to catch fish. Okay, so I believe I can say with some degree of confidence, there's fish here. I will see if I can catch a second fish on the bugs jig to validate the theory that there are fish here. There we go. Oh, a soft bite. Okay, so we got fish. I left here this morning because they were cookie cutters, but cookie cutters would work perfect. Now we're spot locked with our stern. Hasta Luigi. We're spot locked with our stern pointing to the fish downwind. So we've caught two fish back to back on the bugs jig. The goal here is to determine, is this an effective lure or a known present fish? So I'm going to put a pinch weight on actually just to check. Ooh, yes, yes, the paracord lure, yes! I am psyched. This is awesome. The paracord lure is awesome. This is so incredibly easy to make. Watch out, bird. Don't you even think about taking my paracord trout. Woo! The paracord lure is successful. The bird's going to try to eat that trout. The paracord lure. That's awesome. And he did a good job. Look at that. The paracord lure. Success! I wanted this to work. I got to be honest with you because of the beauty of it and the simplicity of it. And by golly, it works. I am super psyched. This is amazing. This is truly amazing. No, you're not eating my paracord trout. All right. What do we got here? Paracord trout's 18. Where'd that bird go? There he goes. Go back, go, Gadget. Ha ha. The paracord lure worked. I am utterly amazed. I'm not really amazed because that looks awesome. Look at that. See, they can't put anything on the internet if it isn't true. That just goes to show you. There we go. There we go. There we go. We got another paracord trout. This is awesome. We got a second trout on the paracord lure. This is freaking awesome. Look at that. Perfect hook set from a live bait circle hook. Hey now. Hey now. I'm going to release you. And you are illegal trout, so no, we wouldn't have to starve. Both trout we caught are legal. I already got 3 in the box. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Didn't mean to bang you in the head. It was not a very pretty release.
Let's go gadget. Off to another challenge. Well, I sure hoped you enjoyed this episode. If you're like me, I had a lot of fun. It was kind of cool to see how this turned out. I was rooting for it, certainly, but it was really cool to see it work as well as it did. And boy, this does not bode well for those people trying to convince you to pay $15 for a photorealistic lure. But anyway, if you do like this video, I would encourage you to subscribe to the channel and like the video. I'm doing a lot more with this YouTube channel, and I'm trying to grow it. I've tried to work on quality and consistency before I would ask for your subscription or your likes. But if you get some enjoyment out of this, show the video some love and show the channel some love. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming along.